Nova Southeastern University, the 44th Annual Commencement Exercises. Greetings, the trustees of Nova Southeastern University, the President, the Board of Governors, the administration, and the faculty bid you welcome to this joyous celebration for the conferral of degrees upon those whom the university honors for learning and diligence, and upon those whom the university charges to turn scholarships into service. Will the audience please rise and join the faculty and graduates in singing the Star-Spangled Banner? You'll find the words in the front of the program.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare and bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Sit down, please. It is my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce to you Dr. Fred Lippman, Chancellor of the Health Professions Division. Dr. Lippman.
Thank you, Dr. Flores. We welcome all of you who have joined us to honor the members of the class of 2014 to these commencement exercises. The 20th annual graduation as the Health Professions Division of this great university, Nova Southeastern University. At this time, I'd like to recognize Dr. Sylvia Flores, a member of our Board of Trustees, Dr. Flores, and also with us today, and would they stand, and just hold your applause until they all stand, members of the Board of Governors, the Health Professions Division of NSU, Dr. Rosebud Foster, Dr. Benny Rube, Dr. Howard Neer, Dr. Mel Crone, Dr. Joel Rush, and Dr. Peter Keller. Give them a round of applause, please. I would also like to welcome an incredible human being, a person that we all love, and without him we would not be here. President Emeritus, Dr. Abraham Fischler. And let me introduce my right hand, the Provost and Executive Dean of the Administration, Dr. Irv Rosenbaum. And of course, what would we be without having our leader? So let me introduce to you, for your recognition, Dr. George Hanbury II, our President and Chief Executive Officer. New to us this year, but already a big member of our team, literally and otherwise, Dr. Ralph Rogers, the Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost. And the very brilliant and exciting person, Dr., not quite doctor, almost, we'll get you there, Jacqueline Travisano, our Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer. I would now like to introduce to you those folks that really, when the rubber meets the road, these are the chief academic and executive officers of our colleges. So let me introduce first Dr. Stanley Wilson, the Dean of the College of Healthcare Sciences. Standing in for the Dean Lawback today, who has a medical issue, Dr. Kelly Davis, Professor of the College of Medical Sciences. The Dean of the College of Optometry, Dr. David Lotion. The Dean of the College of Pharmacy, Dr. Lisa Desio. The Dean of the College of Dental Medicine, and new to us this year also, Dr. Linda Neeson. That was a nice curtsy. And the Dean of the College of Osteopathic Medicine, Dr. Anthony Silvani. Also assisting us today for the hearing impaired is Ms. Lisa Hendrickson and Ms. Kathleen Stevenson from Nationwide Interpreter Resource. A university becomes great not because of buildings or athletic accomplishments, but because it develops an outstanding student body through the guidance of its faculty. So sitting in back of me are these wonderful people that are on this stage, and they are the distinguished members of our faculty and administrators. Please rise and be recognized. Thank you. The Health Professions Division of Nova Southeastern University is constantly growing and expanding as an institution featuring the finest of health education. We are proud of our growth and our accomplishments. You're part of our accomplishments, sitting right here. I welcome the members of the graduating class of 2014. To you, their relatives, friends, and significant others, to this special occasion. Having more than a passing acquaintance with your faculties and curriculums, I know you were given as much training as it is possible. I hope you've been able to absorb the zeal and personal interest of your faculty and the leadership people in the various colleges. A positive role you should seek to emulate. My hope is that the faculty and administration and all the people who have come in contact with here at NSU's Health Profession Division have given you the desire for honesty, integrity, and dedication, the traits which will give you, and as you develop in your careers, a good name. As you create your own good name, you will be helping to spread the good name of the institution which nurtured you, Nova Southeastern University. One cannot succeed without the other. We have been honored, truly honored, to have you with us as students. We are now honored to have you as almost alumni. Congratulations. May good health and success be your rewards, but especially may every one of you achieve a good name. And now it is my honor, and I am privileged to request President George L. Hanbury II to come forward. Dr. Hanbury.
Thank you, Dr. Livman. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming to this very special day for these very special graduates. Surgeon General and Secretary of Health, member of the Board of Trustees, President Emeritus Fischler, I would like to thank all of you for coming and give you a great welcome. Now, you've heard before we begin, and you'll hear at the ending of this ceremony, a wonderful orchestra. And I'd like to thank the orchestra under the direction of Dr. Mark Kavanaugh, a professor at Nova Southeastern University. A big round of applause. Thank you, Dr. Kavanaugh, and all of the NSU orchestra. You know, what a difference 12 hours make. On this very stage last night, with less type of demographics and special effects, Cyndi Lauper was on the stage, as well as Cher. And 18,000 people in this arena were screaming, hollering, and dancing to a lady 68 years old, who goes to show you that you never quit and you never stop learning. Now, I am not planning on swinging from a chandelier coming out of the floor, nor will you have probably the entertainment from the orchestra. Our orchestra a little more classical and traditional than Cher. But I hope it will not diminish the significance or the meaning of the commencement today. So it's my distinct pleasure as NSU's 6th president to welcome all of the family members, the friends and loved ones of our graduates to publicly witness and celebrate through this ceremony the hard work that you have undertaken and accomplished. And since Monday week is Memorial Day, and I know that many of you are planning on going into the military as officers to serve your country, I'd like to welcome the veterans who have attended or who are in the audience today to stand and be recognized. Thank you for your service. And last but certainly not least, I would like everyone in the audience to join me in welcoming the graduates of the Health Professions Division of Nova Southeastern University, class of 2014. We got a few more speeches yet, so it's not over yet. So, as you do embark on your lifelong journey in your respective health professions, or wherever your education takes you, it's fitting that we have with us here today a speaker who has had so much experience shaping the healthcare field, advocating for healthy choices by Florida's children, adults, and families. Perhaps some of you will follow in his footsteps, and others are already making an impact in your chosen field. Today is indeed a celebration of your accomplishments, and it's time of great anticipation as you begin life beyond NSU. All of you are each on your own individual and unique path to meet the world and achieve success. Today, the path stretches out before you. As Max Dupree said, You can't be where you need to be if you remain where you are. You indeed have needed to be at NSU. But now it's time to move from where you are. Today is about you, our graduates, and the public recognition of your academic accomplishments. But I want to take a moment to also commend, as Dr. Lippman did as well, the faculty for challenging, inspiring, and teaching you to be prepared to meet the future, and with great hope and anticipation for your success. Many of you probably have had a favorite professor, or maybe two or three. But it's the collective shared knowledge that all of them have been able to espouse and glean with you that becomes part of you. So it's that collective perspective that I'd like all of you as students to recognize the faculty and to give them thanks. Hopefully your faculty and administrative mentors were able to provide you with both a path to you for your chosen profession while simultaneously furthering your skills as critical thinkers. Because it's just not what you learned in the health sciences, but it's been, hopefully, our ability to unleash each and every one of you and your potential to lead your lives instead of being led. And in conversations I've had with some of you, I know we indeed have definitely unleashed your potential to be leaders. Commencement, as you know, is both a beginning and an end. Hellos and goodbyes. But I hope you'll take an opportunity today to think back on your years here at NSU and to remember those individuals who've supported you and to been your cheerleaders, who have loved and nurtured you, and hopefully will continue to do so. Some may be relieved that your financial aid is over with. Others may be worried of how you're going to pay back your financial aid and student loans. But regardless of the circumstances financially, they have all come to give witness to you today of their love, affection, and their cheerleading efforts to support you. And that is everybody else in the audience. Students, recognize your parents, loved ones, friends, neighbors, and significant others. As this 2013-14 school year comes to a close, we can also take that moment to reflect upon your time at NSU. You are ending your period here, but I hope you will not end working and thinking of NSU. You know, just last week at our undergraduate commencement, Sully Sullenberger was introduced by an alumnus of NSU. He was an undergraduate and attended 4 years here at NSU, but probably more important to you, he was a graduate of the College of Osteopathic Medicine. He happened to be on that flight, and Captain Sullenberger did not know that until right before his speech last week at the commencement. Quick man that he was, since we are the Sharks at NSU, Captain Sullenberger said, "Hey, I did not realize with 52 degrees temperatures in the Hudson River that we had a shark in the Hudson." Captain Sullenberger certainly recognized our student, and our graduate gratefully recognized him for saving his life. But I hope you'll continue with curiosity that came here, that curiosity to seek beyond your reach, and that curiosity to explore better ways to improve mankind, and that your teaching and learning will not end with today, but to have that lifelong curiosity that I know all of you have. So no matter what road you take, I hope your time here at NSU has taught you the value of that lifelong learning, because today many of the professions that were created during your time here were not even in existence when you first started your educational mission. I believe you've built a foundation now to be able to meet the future and to prepare for future generations for whatever changes may face you. Today, there are over 800 of you out of 7,000 graduates who will receive degrees from Nova Southeastern University during our commencement period. 7,000 graduates will walk across the stage, all celebrating the hard work and the achievements they made. You are from over 79 different countries, from as far away as Brazil or Jamaica, India, Spain, or from the states and the mainland, New Jersey, New York, Texas, California, and the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. Or right here in Fort Lauderdale, Sunrise, Hollywood, or even Davie. Many of you come to NSU straight from your undergraduate work. Others took a year off to travel or maybe do some studies and work. And still others may have come back after years of life and experiences. Our oldest graduate today of the 7,000 graduates is 72 years old. So like Cher, he's not doing a farewell, farewell, farewell tour. He's just seeing the benefit of lifelong learning. So regardless of your age, I'm sure you all made new friends. You downed more than your FDA recommended allowance of Red Bull. And you made memories that you will treasure for your entire life. You all stand out on your own unique ways to make up this incomparable class of graduates. You are indeed one NSU. Since you've been here for several years now, you have no doubt realized that a community is a major part of this university, and giving back to community is one value that I hope you will take forward. Because in the health professions, you are indeed giving back your talent, your skills, and your ideas, no matter what your fee may be. NSU is proud to be one of 37 universities in the nation of over 4,400 colleges and universities in the United States. We are one of 37 that has the dual designation by Carnegie of being not only high research, but community engaged. In fact, this year, the President of the United States has given NSU the Higher Education Community Service Honor Roll Award. It's the highest honor a college or university can receive for its commitment to volunteering service in civic engagement. This has not just happened by itself. NSU students logged thousands of hours. And when you take over 12,000 hours that have been logged by our students, Many of you have taken missions to faraway lands, or worked in our clinics, or provided legal assistance in our law school, or as an undergraduate has participated in walks or going to homes for senior citizens or Special Olympics or working with those individuals who have special needs. If a dollar value was placed on those 12,000 hours from the medical, legal, and other aspects that were chosen in the smallest amount of each of those professions, over $5 million would have been given back to the community. Let's hear it for you and your efforts. With more than 162,000 alumni, you're going to be able to find sharks throughout the country wherever you go. And as an NSU alumni, you are indeed entering good company, because you see, the reputation of this university will be built on your shoulders, your predecessors, and those who will succeed you. You are indeed the embodiment of NSU's spirit. And by focusing on your goals with enthusiasm and the progressive realization of those worthy goals, you will indeed be successful. As I mentioned, Captain Sullenberger spoke last week to our undergraduates. And in that defining moment, he had to make a leadership decision to save 155 people, of which one of them, as I stated, was an alumnus of NSU. But it was Dr. Sullenberger's interview on CBS that really struck me. Charlie Rice asked him, "What was it, Captain Sullenberger, that in that little short defining moment of less than 2 minutes, 1 minute and 36 seconds, you had to decide what you would do as a leader?" Without hesitation, Captain Sullenberger said, "It all stems back to my core values and what I believe in a cause greater than myself. Integrity." And that's the final word that I want to leave with you. Integrity. All of you are in the health professions. People will go to you and ask for your advice. They'll value your advice. They'll place their lives in your hands. And without integrity, that value will be questioned. I challenge all of you to live up to the admonitions of Shakespeare, who gave Polonius his words of advice to his son Laertes. "This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night to day, thou canst not be false to any man." You see, you don't have to have a big job or a fancy title to be a leader. All of you have that potential. But you do need integrity to be a leader. And if you can think of integrity like a mirror, once shattered, it's difficult or impossible to restore. So I'm not going to sugarcoat life for you after today. It's not going to be easy. All of you will be tested in your lives. the question of ethics and integrity will rise. Some have fallen to temptation, and their integrity has been forever shattered. So I encourage you to work hard, pursue your dreams, keep your aim above your reach, and lead an honest and ethical life with integrity. Those are the individuals that will rise to the top and be successful and lead their lives instead of being led. So I'd like to end my comments with one last famous philosopher. Go Sharks. Have a great day and a wonderful career. Now I'd like to introduce and to read for you the honorary degree of the Doctor of Humane Letters to Dr. John Armstrong. Would Dr. Ralph Rogers, Dr. Sylvia Flores, and Dr. Fred Lipman please rise and assist me in this recognition? Everybody situated? Wait a minute, Dr. Flores. Now, hold on just a second. This is an honorary degree to John H. Armstrong, MD, FACS, Doctor of Humane Letters. John H. Armstrong, for more than 20 years, you have dedicated your life to improving the health and well-being of those who have risked their lives in service to our nation and to the citizens of the state of Florida. As a member of our armed forces, trauma surgeon, educator, and health policy leader, you have made innovative thinking and advocacy a hallmark of your career. You're a graduate of Princeton University, the University of Virginia School of Medicine, and the U.S. Army Command and General Staff College. You performed your surgical residency at Tripler Army Medical Center in Honolulu, Hawaii, your trauma surgical critical care fellowship at the University of Miami Jackson Memorial Hospital, and your master's educators in medical education fellowship at the University of Florida. Completing your 17-year military career in 2005 as a colonel in the Army Medical Corps, you served as director of the U.S. Army Trauma Training Center in Miami, where you led the development and implementation of an innovative and award-winning trauma training program for military medical units deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. You are chair of the American College of Surgeons, delegation to the American Medical Association, House of Delegates, ACS Governor for Florida, and member of the ACS Health Policy and Advocate Group. You were appointed as Florida State Surgeon General and Secretary of Health by Governor Rick Scott on April 27, 2012. As a public servant, you are driving innovation, collaboration, accountability, responsiveness, and excellence for the health of all residents. John H. Armstrong, in acknowledgement of your service to your state and your country, the Board of Trustees of Nova Southeastern University is proud to confer upon you the Honorary Doctor of Humane Letters, Sunday, May 18, 2014, Health Professions Division, Nova Southeastern University. Now, Dr. Flores, you can hood Dr. Armstrong. There you go. Needs a little height there.
Members of the graduating class, I think you just saw the enthusiasm of one now proud graduate of Nova Southeastern, and I know that I anticipate the enthusiasm that you feel right now for receiving your own hooding. President Handberg, Chancellor Littman, members of the Board of Trustees, members of the senior administration, faculty, families, friends, and members of the graduating class of 2014 in health professions. I am honored to be here with you today as we recognize multiple achievements. For you in the graduating class, your readiness to serve people by promoting and restoring health. For faculty, a job well done to open minds and nurture hearts for service to others. And for family and friends, your support that helps set conditions for today's commencement. I'm particularly pleased to add my voice to this celebration by sharing 3 reflections from my journey in health to inform your pathway forward. My first memory of health involved my dad. He was an infantry officer, a combat veteran, and a smoker. I was 6, my younger brother was 5, and we were determined to help my dad quit smoking. Now, this was at a time when the U.S. Surgeon General had just come out with a report talking about the dangers of smoking. And my brother and I were told regularly in elementary school by our teachers that we needed to help our parents quit smoking. So my brother and I tried a variety of tactics, like coughing loudly when he lit up, telling him that smoking was bad, and hiding his pack of cigarettes. He politely absorbed these gestures, and we knew that we had to do something different. So, we flushed his cigarettes down the toilet. And when he went to find them, we told him what we had done and that we didn't want him to die from smoking. His reaction? He quit cold turkey. No spankings, lots of Wrigley's gum. My first intervention for health wasn't as a healthcare professional with a medication or an operation. It was as a motivator for health behavior. The result, many decades later, my dad's healthy, with clean lungs and a strong heart, and he plays lots of golf. And he and my mom shared their 50th wedding anniversary together several years ago. The lesson? As you care about people, remember to coach for healthy behaviors. Don't be too busy to notice the obvious or afraid to ask. Being a health coach will have a lasting impact on more people over a lifetime. My next story comes from my residency, which, as you heard, was in general surgery at Tripler Army Medical Center in Honolulu, Hawaii. My program director had an epiphany in life about the importance of running. and he encouraged all of his residents to run the Honolulu Marathon before graduating. Show of hands, how many have run a marathon? I am not surprised to see so many hands in the audience. Now, I want to emphasize, this was encouragement, not a requirement. And as a busy chief resident, I signed up for the marathon months in advance, yet my running did not increase beyond 5 miles a day. For those unfamiliar with distance running, the general rule is that you can run a comfortable race that is 3 times your usual running distance. So I was ready for a 15-mile race. The marathon is 26.2 miles. I had a training gap of 11 miles. Now, race day arrived, and for the first 16 miles, I actually enjoyed the run. I remember thinking, I'm feeling pretty good. Yet I will never forget mile marker 16, because that was the last mile marker where I felt good. The next 10 mile markers were painful, and I can still see each one in my mind as my pace slowed and my feet became inexorably raw. I saw mile marker 26 and realized I still have 2/10 of a mile to go. I gave it my best jog, and I crossed the finish line. For the next week, I shuffled around the wards and operating room like an old man. By now, you recognize the value of training for the race you expect to run. And I suggest that this mindset applies to health. The lesson: health doesn't happen all at once. It happens over time. As the sum of seemingly small steps, our choices each day. And the race is life. We want that finish line to be as far in the future as possible for our patients, our families, and ourselves. Mile marker 16 is not good enough. And my last story comes from my experience as your Surgeon General. I started in this position 2 years ago this week, and I joined a department that was poised to accelerate progress for health. We identified the top health threat to our future, the challenge of weight. It was right in front of us, visible in crowds, population statistics, and health consequences. We launched Healthiest Weight Florida, a public-private partnership that works to reshape environments to make healthy choices the easier choices for children, adults, and families across our great state. And already in this initiative, we've seen remarkable results, with 225,000 more adults in Florida at healthy weight than at the beginning of the initiative. But there's more to the story. Toward the end of my first year as your Surgeon General, I noticed something about me had changed. The first sign was that my clothes were a little tight, and I wondered about a new wardrobe. Then I noticed the photos. And in public life, there are many. And I thought to myself, these don't look right. And finally, I stepped on the scale. I had gained the proverbial freshman 15 at 50. The scale was like an old friend telling me the unvarnished truth. Now, I think we can agree that it's never a good time to gain the freshman 15, but I can tell you, at age 50, it's particularly problematic. And the freshman 15, it results from transitions in life during which health can become an afterthought. I was busy. Early mornings, long days, and late nights. Even busier than I was as a trauma surgeon. My running routine had fallen short. I was less mindful of what I was eating, and I had not stepped on the scale in a while. The gift of running clothes from my wife at Christmas was a hint that I missed. Now, I offered no excuses, and I realized that the issue was not so much that it happened. The issue really was, what was I going to do about it? I resolved not to settle with the new me. I was going to rebalance my nutrition and activity, and now in year 2, I am back at my healthy weight. Along the way, I found that reminders are helpful. Here's my totem pole for health, if you will. I have a wristband, Small Steps, Big Rewards from Healthiest Weight Florida. I have my Fitbit because I do better with measures. And then I have this Rainbow Loom bracelet from my son. The lesson: the biggest challenge for your careers will be your own health. You will be so focused on helping patients and people that you will forego managing your health. So I urge you to check the metrics for your health as a routine, and I suggest that weight is one of them. It is your health that gives you the stamina for patient care, sets the example for your patients and communities, and enriches your relationships, both personal and professional. The greatest resource that you bring to each day is your time. So manage your time to protect, promote, and improve your own health as you work to do the same for your patients. This is a year of legacies. The 20th anniversary of the merger of Nova with Southeastern University of Health Sciences, the 50th anniversary of the founding of Nova University of Advanced Technology, and the 125th anniversary of Florida Public Health. Legacies are shaped from the beginning, with Nova Southeastern created for educational innovation through community engagement, and the State Board of Health created to prevent yellow fever and emerging diseases. Today, you are part of the legacy of Nova Southeastern and the legacy of health. Memories fade over time, and the particulars of this address, they may recede as well. Yet I ask that you remember this: your legacy for health starts with your own health. I am mindful that this is a day of celebration for the beginning of your legacy in health. And I think it's time to make some noise on behalf of health. You just heard that Cyndi Lauper and Cher were in this very auditorium over the weekend, and I'm pretty sure you couldn't hear much of anything with all the applause and the music and the noise. And I think it's time we raise the roof on this place. After all, we're sharks. So here's what we're going to do. My hands represent the hands of 17,000 public health professionals in your Florida Department of Health. I'm going to ask members on the stage, the graduating class, family, friends, and guests in the audience, all to stand, and let's give it up for a great day for health in the greatest state on the planet, Florida. Come on. Again, congratulations and thank you.